Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me. Today is the question and answer videos that I do every single Monday where I answer you guys' questions that you asked me from the last question and answer video from last Monday. Any questions you have right now, today, go down below in the comment section, ask me anything you want, and I will answer them next Monday, in the next Q&A video. Welcome new subscribers. I hope you understand. Please ask me anything you want, please. And all I ask from you guys is just tell us your location. You can be as general or specific as you want. Just let us kind of know where you're from. That really helps. And let's see. I'm recommending a video. You know, I don't really watch too many videos anymore in this community that much. But a title of a video caught my attention the other day from Quinn from Associate Direct. He is great, and for any of you guys, if there's any of you left who don't know who he is already, I will put a link down in the description box to this video, and you can go to his channel. He's great. He offers endless amount of information that's beneficial to people who are trying to survive from narcissistic abuse. So the video was when a narcissist won't stop obsessing and stalking, and he just nailed it. So I just want to recommend it because it's so good. Also, I've been supporting a petition called Shane's Law, and it's about a man named Shane, it's named after him, who was suffering from a long smear campaign, abusive smear campaign from a narcissist to the point where he committed suicide. And so somebody's trying to make it a law to start protecting people from narcissistic abuse. So even if you're not in the United States, that'd be great if you could help. Follow the link I have down in the description box below to this petition, and all they ask is for your signature. Just sign it. Just check the box and say, I support it. This will help even, I know this is in the United States, but you know, as more legislation becomes because of this stuff, it helps your country in the end, I think. So I would just appreciate your support either way. Thank you very much. So let's get started with the questions. First one is from Christina in Romania. Hello, Christina. Hello, David. Can you speak a little bit more about the danger of returning to the ex-narcissist? Because this seems to be a problem for many victims. I am 7 months no contact now, and I know I will never ever return, but for my mental health, and I think for many other people like me, it's good to remind once in a while why I should stay no contact and what is the danger of return. Thank you from my heart. You keep helping me with your work. I don't know where I would have been without this information. All I know is that once I was one step to death and now I live. Well, I'm glad you are living. I'm glad you're alive. Good. And I hope you're actually living. So a lot of us need to be reminded, don't we? And we sometimes remember the good times and forget the bad times and things like this. And I think that's common after people get out of this stuff right afterwards. We're kind of so manipulated and cognitive dissonance, right? And also, after it's been some time, we forget the bad things. Maybe we've healed from it. Maybe we just haven't thought about it. Maybe we just keep wanting to entertain and fantasize about the good times, what could be, right? So, you know, I recommend talking all the time, Christina. I recommend people talking about things that have bothered them, that have traumatized them, talk about pain and things that hurt them, face these things, deal with them, process them, and hopefully they don't feel bad anymore. This will help this as well. And there's a good thing I tell people to do, and that's if you have to, and this is good for anyone. It really is. This is really good, something you should do right after a relationship, and it's something beneficial forever. It can be. Make a list of all the bad things. Write them down. It could be just one-line lists of things, and just keep adding to it and make that list huge. So even if you aren't reading all the things, you see this humongous list of reasons that are bad and reasons why you shouldn't go back. It can be really helpful for you. It keeps us from contacting them again when we think that we want to, and we can look at this list and say, no, I don't want to. And also support, Christina. Have people in your corner all the time telling you you're great. Have things going on in your life to keep you stimulated, and so you go towards goals you want to reach and work towards the things like that. All these things are going to help you keep your mind off this and not entertain thoughts like this, okay? Thank you. I hope that helps, Christina. Shell from Chicago. Hello. Hi, David. How are children affected and possibly damaged by cluster B personality disorder people? Well, we're essentially talking about in the home, right? From their caretakers. So, I mean, physically, it's physically damaging. First signs of abuse going on in the home, and emotional abuse from children, you'll see like stomach aches and headaches. So it definitely is, it affects you physically, causes damage to the brain. The biggest thing is emotional abuse, neglect. What is so important about that is it's not so much just physically neglecting, it's neglecting emotional needs, and not teaching the children how to provide needs for themselves is horrible. So because children aren't born knowing how to. So they grow up, and you know, most children who have been abused in their childhood tend to either be abusers or be abused again in their adult life. Extremely common. So that's, you see that cycle, you can see the damage. Children that are raised by cluster B personality disorders can also develop a personality disorder themselves. And their life is unmanageable and unhappy forever. So lots of damage, physical, emotionally, mental. It causes damage to the brain. Emotional trauma causes damage to your brain. The shrinking and swelling of specific organs in your brain causes a lot of damage. This kind of repeated damage over time, this kind of trauma is horrible. And attachment trauma, you know, really comes into play when we start attaching again to people, and it can keep you from having any kind of healthy, happy relationships in your life, which are like the most important things to us. So very damaging to children. You really see the damages in adult life. Thank you. Let's see. Anna from Paris. Hello, Anna. Hello, David. I didn't get the answer, which was not clear, I think. I asked if a man brought up by narcissistic mother and without father can become homosexual. And you talk about a lot of stuff, but that's your question. And Anna, you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialist, and I'm definitely not very experienced with this. So I don't really have an opinion on this. I don't know. I believe today it is known or suggested or accepted that sexual preferences are developed by environment and genetic. That's what they're saying. So it wouldn't be just that would cause someone's sexual preference. Okay? Hope that makes sense, Hannah. Thank you. Rachel from the United States. Hello. I would like to know if you think it's possible for me to help my borderline best friend. She is addicted to destructive relationships with abusers, and it's tearing our friendship apart, as I refuse to sit back and watch it any longer. Is there anything I can do to help her? Do you believe that staying friends with a borderline female that's on a bad path will ultimately cause me pain, regardless of what I say or do to try and help her? Good question, Rachel. And there's a lot of people diagnosed with borderline personality disorders, and all of them want friends. So there's a lot of people out there dealing with this. There's a lot going on. A lot going on here, Rachel. And all that matters, most importantly, is you. Okay? You come first before your friend. So all of this is up to you. I can't answer this for you. Okay? I can't tell you what to do about your friend. What I can do is tell you, to kind of help you, what you should do for yourself. And people with borderline personality disorder cannot have happy, healthy relationships with people. Okay? It's not an opinion. This is what it says. So, and you're seeing this. You're seeing this with her intimate relationships with people. The stronger, more attached relationships will be worse. The stronger friends will be worse. The casual friend won't be as bad. Okay? The problem with people with borderline personality disorder is if you become closer and closer to them, it can be damaging to people. Okay? And let me put it this way. Without having to answer your question and tell you what to do about her, I will tell you to start instilling and reinforcing boundaries. If you form boundaries, which you probably cannot have with this friend, because borderlines will not be friends with people with boundaries. It doesn't serve them. They take it as rejection. Okay? Loss of control. Fear of abandonment. So if you apply boundaries to your friend, this relationship will resolve itself. There will be an ending to this, and it will benefit you. And that's what's important. The other thing is try to realize how a lot of these people become disordered. A component of this is not facing responsibility. So your friend Rachel may have never faced responsibility or understands consequences to her actions because she had enabling parents, I'm guessing. And people can enable children in all kinds of different ways and still abuse them and stuff. Without it's apparent this person was raised without boundaries. That's why they don't understand or respect them. That's why they're with people or have friends with people that don't have boundaries. This is a hamster wheel that you are on. Your friend wants to convince you of how bad her boyfriend is, and then once you're convinced, she goes back to him. Okay? So she's doing things that are bad for herself, and as a friend, no one wants to see that. So if a friend doesn't want to do good things for themselves, whether they know how, can, or whatever, it doesn't mean that you have to stay in their life and witness this if it hurts you. Okay? I think install the boundaries, relationship will resolve itself. She will not be able to be friends with you with boundaries. Okay? Hi, David. Oh, this is from Shell from Chicago again. Hello, Shell. Hi, David. What are the steps in an escape plan? I found many videos on signs and healing, but what about how to get the hell out of Dodge first? So, escape plans need to be pretty specific, don't they? Pretty intricate. Financial abuse is profound in emotionally abusive relationships, and it's not over 90%. And relationships that where there's financial abuse, that usually starts first. That's the first thing. To break away from someone, and you're calling it an escape plan, so we're escaping from this person. So coming up with plans is essential. Financial, I always think is first. If you have children, we got to start planning for this type of stuff. What's really important, the most important, is that you do get away, okay? And that means sometimes, breaking away from things that are close to you and mean a lot to you. If that's what it takes, you have to do it. So find support. Get somebody in your corner that can listen to you, tell you you're a good person, but can keep you focused on leaving. Because this is an addiction. So, and this is depressing, and this is scary, and your brain's going to tell you, you can't leave this person, you need this person, you won't survive out there, you won't do any good, all this stuff. And you also will protect this relationship instinctively. And a person can become helpful and support you in one moment, and then when you decide, oh no, you feel threatened, you don't want to lose this relationship, then that supportive person will be a threat to you in your relationship. You'll push them away. So find somebody, find people, as many as you can, to really help you, okay? Really, really help you. And just don't forget don't lose sight of what you're trying to do, and that's get away. Because you're going to probably make up with all kinds of excuses in your head why you need to stay, why you can't leave, okay? Good luck. Good luck. Shamara, 33, from Utah. Hello. Hi, David. Thank you for all the time you put into making these videos for us. Oh, thank you. You are welcome. My relationship with my borderline ex-girlfriend has left me with a very nihilistic existential depression. I'm wondering if this is a common result of those who have been in relationships with cluster B personality disorders, and if there is a way out. Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole point of ending a relationship in a healthy way is to not feel this way. It's to not feel bad. Ending relationships, it's not a nice thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a happy, great thing for most people. Intimate relationships being over is usually depressing for everyone for a little while. These kinds of relationships, toxic, enmeshed relationships with trauma, are just horrible. 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 Massive suicide rate. Massive. CPTSD. It's horrible. Massive depression and anxiety. CPTSD, and please watch my videos. I have a playlist titled Healing CPTSD. CPTSD is a massive, made of a massive subset of different disorders as well. I mean, you got depression and anxiety and all kinds of eating disorders and addiction disorders and all kinds of stuff are the products of emotional abuse and trauma. Okay? Everyone's feelings are normal, guys. Trauma affects everyone differently. We all react to trauma differently. Okay? So we need help, and that's why we get help. People help us with depression. Okay? Loneliness and isolation do not help at all. Okay? We need people. People made you feel this way, and people will help you not feel that way. Okay? That's what you need. It's totally common. Everyone's almost feels like this, okay? And it will, how do you get out of it? You get help. Help. You don't have to try to do this by yourself, and you may not be able to do this by yourself. Get help. I make tons of videos on what you need to do and stuff like this, and there's a process to healing. Okay, so begin. Begin. You got to get away. First, number one, you got to get away from the source. You got to get out of there. You've got to get away from the person that caused it. You know, you've got to get away from the fire if you got burned. So that's number one. Two, start learning how to take care of yourself. Start learning how to heal from this relationship. Feeling better about the experience. Okay? Good luck. Glenn from the United Kingdom. Hello, Glenn. Just wondering about a behavioral pattern and the reason behind it. When I'm with people, my ex will stare at me, and when I'm alone, won't look at me. We were together 1.5 years. I got triangulated during the breakup, and false accusations were made to the police, which I've recently been completely cleared of. For a little background, I waited immediate no contact the moment police were called, and it's been 4 months. Well, good for you. I'm glad you're out of that relationship. So, why does she stare at you when you're with people, and why won't she look at you when you're together? Well, I'm not in her head. I don't know. There can be all kinds of different reasons on what she's thinking and why. My guess is this is all about insecurity. A lot of this is about insecurity when you're around other people. These people take, they can take all kinds of different people as different kinds of threats to their relationship. She's obviously has the huge victim mentality. Talk bad, you did this to me, point fingers. So she really believes she's a total victim all the time, and she has no control over her life, probably doesn't know who she is very well, and she sits there and watches you and feels threatened by other people, and just maybe that fear of abandonment kicks in. If she could be studying you, she could be trying to learn more about you to how to manipulate you. I wouldn't know, right? So, and why does she not look at you when you're together? No threat around. If that was why she was looking at you with people. No threat around. Disdain, hate for you, no respect for you. Maybe she's doing it on purpose. That's a great way to let people know you don't respect them. To make them feel unrespected. Okay? I hope that helps. If not, just ask me something else. Or some more. Thank you. Where are we at? I'm going to stop here. Yeah, this is the end of part 1, and I'll start part 2 in a few minutes. So if you guys can help me, thank you. Please help me by, doing what you can for this video. Helps me in the channel, and the information I'm trying to get out there. So making this video more active by voting, by commenting, by sharing it, by sending it to people, putting it in a playlist. Okay? Thanks, guys. Love yourself first. I'll see you in part 2. Bye.